Hey everybody, Don with Way Stoneworks, and today I want to talk about adding 2 additional pickup configurations to your Stratocaster type guitar. We're going to be doing this by either adding a small toggle switch or some sort of a push-pull button or pot on the guitar. Okay, so if we take a look, here's our standard Stratocaster wiring. You open up a normal Strat, it's going to look something very similar to this. What we want to do is keep as many of the components as we possibly can, just simply adding this switch. So we're going to start off with our 3 pickups. We're going to have our 5-way selector switch, and we're going to have 3 250K pots. One's going to be used for volume, 2 are going to be used for tone. We have our output jack. The one piece that we're going to add is our switch. Again, you can use a toggle switch, you can use a push-pull, or you can use the push button. I'm using a push button in my example right now. It's a double pull, double throw, so a DP-DT type of switch. There are other types out there. You can use a single pull, single throw switch. Doesn't really matter. We're only going to be wiring on one side of it. The reason I'm using this is the push button allows me to have a very small hole in my pick guard. I prefer it rather than the pot or the toggle switch, but again, that's personal preference. So you need to get one of those. First thing we want to do, as always, standard grounding. Ground the 3 pots together, as I'm showing here. Put your capacitor in, ground to your bridge, and then ground to the jack. This is going to help you prevent a ground loop. Make sure you follow this in order to properly ground the components on the guitar. From here, you want to wire up the pickups. You're going to take the ground and wire those to the top lug of the volume pot. That will ground if you've done everything properly. And then you'll take the hot off of each pickup and wire it to the corresponding lug on the selector switch. For the purpose of this particular video, I'm referring to the left side of the switch here as lugs 1, 2, 3, and 4. The right side is 5, 6, 7, 8. So right now, the bridge pickup is connected to lug 1, middle to lug 2, and the neck is connected to lug 3. So if you're going through and trying to mod an existing Strat, doesn't mean you have to pull the wires off. They should be wired like this. You may just want to take a look at the grounding and make sure that that's correct. But in essence, your pickup wiring should be as I'm showing you right here. Now, before we get started wiring, I want to talk a little bit about the pots and make sure everybody understands my numbering convention for them. I refer to the lugs as 1, 2, and 3. 2 obviously being the middle, 1 being the first on the left, 3 being the last one on the right. Using the volume pot as our reference, you can see that I have lug number 1 grounded, lug number 3 is open. On the first tone, you can see lug number 1 has got a capacitor wired to it, lug number 3 is open. So as I'm referring to the lugs, please just understand which one I'm referring to. Okay, the first step in actually wiring up the guitar is to take a jumper wire between lug number 1 and lug number 5 of the 5-way switch. I've shown you that here in red. Okay, from here, we need to take a wire from lug number 2 of the 5-way switch to lug number 1 of the very last tone pot. That one's shown here in green. After this, we're going to take a wire from lug number 3 of the 5-way switch to the middle lug, or lug number 2, of the first tone pot, the one with the capacitor on it, and that's shown here in blue. Now we need to take a wire from lug number 4 of the 5-way switch over to lug number 3, or the last one, on the volume pot. You can see that here in the tan or light brown. Okay, and now we get to actually wire up whichever switch you chose. Mine that I'm showing you here is a double pull, so that's why I have 6 different lugs. You might have a single pull, which will only have 3. Doesn't matter, we're only using the left side or one side of it anyways. I'm going to refer to them as 1, 2, 3 again, 1 being the top, 2 the middle, 3 being the bottom. To do this, we're going to go from lug number 8, or the last lug on our 5-way switch, to the middle lug of your new switch. Okay, and you can see that here in black. And then we're going to go from lug number 1, or the top lug on the new switch, to lug number 3 of the volume switch. So you can see that here in black. Again, lug 8 off of the 5-way switch to the middle lug of your new switch, and then the top, or lug number 1, is going to get wired to lug number 3 of the volume switch, the same one that we see coming off of lug number 4 from the 5-way switch. And now we're done. So what we have here is we have our 7-way 3 pickup guitar all wired up. You should again have everything looking just like I have on the schematic here. And right now what we want to do is we would just want to go over the next couple slides and show you exactly what did we accomplish today. What are the new pickup combinations going to look like, and how do they actually work with the switching. So for the next couple slides, we're going to assume that our new switch is in the off position, whatever that would be. And then your actual pickup combinations are going to be identical to what you're currently used to with your Strat. So the selector switch all the way to the back, you're going to have just your bridge pickup. Second position, you'll have bridge and middle. Then you'll have the middle and neck, and then finally the neck. Okay, so again, this is your standard Strat combination of pickups. So with that selector switch off, it's going to be no different than what you're currently doing. So now if we engage it, we're going to see a slight difference. So position 1, we just have our bridge pickup again. Position 2, we're going to have middle and neck. Position 3, we're going to have middle. Now when we go to position 4, you're going to see one of the two new. You're going to see all 3 of the pickups together. You're going to get a completely different type of tone. You're going to have all 3 engaged. It's kind of a cool tone, again, depending on what you have for pickups. If you have a humbucker in the bridge, you're going to get an even different tone than you would, obviously, if you had the single coil in there. And then if we move to the very last position, you're going to have that kind of Telecaster type sound where you've got the bridge and the neck pickup combined. So there you go. Adding 2 more pickup combinations, all 3 pickups together, or just the bridge and the neck to your Stratocaster. Simple mod, adding a small switch. Again, you can use a push-pull pot, you can use a toggle switch, or a push button. Doesn't matter, wiring is going to be identical to what I've shown you here. And you get some really cool tones out of these 2 new combinations. Just add something else to your overall sound that's coming out of the guitar. Hopefully you liked the video, you learned something from it, and I appreciate you watching, and please check out my other videos. Thanks.